All right, I don't know if you're ready for this one today. We are going to talk about increasing your engagement on Facebook, even on Instagram, and getting into more conversations with people to, at the end of the day, increase sales in your business and have that success that you're striving for. So what up? My name's Carrie, text message marketing guru. I want to talk about something today that I'm super passionate about, something that I've personally worked on my own social media profiles for probably the past 12 to 18 months, and that's getting my engagement up, getting in conversations with more people, and I want to help you do the same. So this training is going to be for you if your engagement is low, if you feel like you're seeing the same people commenting over and over, the same eyeballs on you. We got to freshen things up. So I'm going to give you some of my best tips to do that. All right, you ready for this? So let's talk your newsfeed, right? First steps, first things to think about. When you look at your news feed, you have to think about the newest person that comes to visit you. Let's talk about them first. So if someone comes to your news feed really quick and they scroll down, what's like the first 10 to 12 posts maybe that they're seeing, right? What's your content look like? How's the engagement been? Is it aesthetically pleasing? Can somebody, maybe relate to you and get to know you in those first 10 to 12 posts? What you're about, the content that you're sharing, all the things, right? So that's something first to consider before we even touch on engagement. You might want to go and do like a little freshening up of your newsfeed, check your bio, check your profile picture, right? A lot of people don't think about that, but like if you're building a business online, your profile picture is super important. Having your face there. If you have like a colored background, that's a great tip too, okay? So let's talk boosting your engagement, right? That's what at the end of the day is going to get you into more conversations, get you connecting with people and, sharing your business and your products, because that's what we're trying to do. We're making money on social media. So some of my favorite tips and strategies that I personally use and that I've taught many others how to do is thinking about the Facebook newsfeed as a pinball machine, right? Think about when you were younger and, well, I'm aging myself, but when I used to play pinball and I would have to hit the buttons and keep the ball going back up, right? Your newsfeed feeds off of the algorithm on social media with the same effect. Anytime people are commenting on a post, the ball goes back up, ball comes back down, another comment, you comment back, it just happens, right? So the more comments, the more back and forth banter, the more times the ball goes up the pinball machine and comes back down. So when you are creating your content, the more conversations and the more banter back and forth that happens, the more that you're going to keep that post flowing through the feed. So one test that I encourage you to do, just to try this out, when your memories show up on Facebook, right? Each day we get those memories, and if you don't get them, they used to come in my notifications. If they don't come in your memories, go to the memories on your Facebook profile, click it, and I encourage you to go and comment on a post. Comment on a post in your newsfeed from 2 years ago and watch how someone will either like, love it, or comment on it because it brings it back to life, right? So go on your newsfeed and try that out just to test my theory here. So how can we increase our engagement on social? What can you do to increase that bounceability going on? So you have posts, right? Sometimes I call them push posts and other times they're pull. When you are pushing, you are sharing value. You are getting vulnerable and sharing tidbits maybe about your life. You're sharing something that happened in your life. You are pushing information to your audience, almost like blogging. When you are pulling, that is where you want to engage them, where you want your audience to post, right? So we do that through engagement posts. So I, at all times on my newsfeed, have push, pull, push, pull, push, pull. When the engagement starts to go down, I do the pull and I try to engage my audience. Other times, I'm pushing information and I'm educating, I'm providing value, I'm sharing, right? So a backwards method that I have found that works amazingly in my business is when I am creating my content for the week, right? And I know kind of what's going on, if I have a promotion coming up, if I have a new product dropping, if I have a course launching, I try to backwards construct it leading up to that. what type of post can I create that will get me into conversations geared towards that product launch, towards that sale coming up? And I come up with what I call a post that takes long enough for someone to comment on it in the time that you do number one, meaning they don't have to put a lot of thought into it. If it's a number two length post, it's a post that you are trying to get people to really think about. It's like one of those posts where someone has to think about a time in their life or a song that fully embodies, their entrance into a business convention, like something where somebody is like, let me think about that for a second. Whereas if it's a number one time frame post, it's something that somebody can answer instantly. How many times do you wash your hair a day? How many times do you wash your face a day? Do you brush your teeth with cold or hot water? How many cups of coffee do you drink a day? About how much is your grocery bill? How many meals do you prep a week? Like, do you see those questions can be answered quickly? You're going to get a lot of engagement. You're going to get people just dropping their answer. Settle this debate. Do you like chocolate or vanilla better? Settle this debate. Iced or hot coffee? Strawberry jelly or raspberry jelly, right? And I get it. Some of these you're like, yeah, but what does that have to do with anything? That's my method. I construct it backwards. So if I know, I'm going to throw out a few examples, that there is a skincare product launching later this month, later this week, whenever, I am going to backwards think about a type of post that has to do with skincare that I can create conversations and get into DMs and talk to people. So how many skincare products do you use on a daily basis? How often do you buy skincare products? How many times a day do you wash your face? Do you wash your face with cold or hot water? What's one skincare concern that you wish you could get rid of? Whereas that's borderline because somebody might have to think about it like, I don't know, right? So trying to come up with a post that's going to get them to comment quickly, right? Do you use a serum on your face? Yes or no? Let's think about if you were talking coffee products. A lot of people share coffee products. What's a question that you can answer? I just gave a few. Do you drink your coffee black or with cream and sugar? Do you put sugar in your coffee? Coffee, cold or iced? How many cups of coffee a day? Do you have a favorite coffee that you grab when you're out, right? Like those types of things. Let's talk. My mind's going a mile a minute. Let's talk if we wanted to go clothing, right? If you were sharing maybe like leggings or something. Hey, ladies, ballpark, how many pairs of leggings do you own? Raise your hand if you have 5 or more pairs of black leggings. If you could pick one thing that you wish your leggings would help you with, what would it be? And like you could give 3 choices, lifting your booty, sucking in your muffin top, or whatever. What's most important to you when you select a pair of leggings? Price point or durability? You see where I'm going? Like a lot of this is testing and tweaking. You might put a post up, it might not do well, which I'm going to touch on in a second. You might put a post up and it might do extremely well. You might put a post up and it might get the wrong type of engagement, right? You're constantly analyzing backwards. When you're analyzing, this is another carry tip that I learned. I am extremely, what's the word I'm looking for? Consistent, we'll just say consistent, with making sure I warm my algorithm before I post. So I know that every morning I post, and everybody's different, I post around 8 a.m. So before I do that, I am diligent in making sure that I go and I comment on old posts on my news feed for at least 8 to 10 minutes. I go in old posts, I bump them around, I go and comment on some other people's posts, I warm it up. You need to warm it up. You can't come in cold because it just won't work. I don't know why. It's the algorithm for you. Like you can't just like come in cold, post, and then go and put your kids on the bus. It just doesn't work that way. You got to warm it up a little bit. You throw your post up. And again, this is a carry pro tip here. I engage with the first couple people quickly. So if I have an engagement post up, and right now we're just talking engagement posts. If I have a post up, and I want engagement, I gotta get a comment within the first 10 minutes. If you don't get a comment within 10 minutes, it's not a good post. or you didn't post it at the right time, or you didn't warm your algorithm. So if I get a comment within 10 minutes and a few comments, I might respond to the first like 3 to 5, then I put my phone down. And when I'm commenting, this is another Carrie pro tip, I'm trying to ask a question. So, how many cups of coffee do you drink a day? 6. Holy heck, do you drink like most of them in the morning, or do you spread them out all throughout the day? Right? So like I'm asking a question so that I can bump it again. Sometimes you have to get like super creative with these questions, and sometimes you really can't. Like if you get people to comment an emoji or something like that, you can't really say, "Ooh, I love your purple heart emoji," right? Like you got to like sometimes come up with a creative way for them to comment. And then I get into the DMs. So this training here is teaching you about the engagement posts, but the magic happens in the DMs. So after someone's commented and I want to like go create a conversation, I get in their DMs. I might go scope their wall out a little bit, see what they're about. I might go in their DMs and talk a little bit about what I obviously have coming. Again, that part is not on this training, but you need to make it about them. All right? Last tip I'm going to leave you with, if your engagement is not anywhere near where you want it to be, if you are talking to the same people, seeing the same people on your posts, you got to go out and find new people. How do you do that? Like, because I have these conversations on a daily basis with people, and I look at how many friends that they have on Facebook, and they have 1,500, 1,800, 2,000. Y'all, we can max out at 5,000 friends you can have. Go friend some new ones. If you're already maxed out and you're like, hey, my engagement is low, which I don't believe you, go and clean out your friends. Go through your birthdays on a daily basis and get rid of people. Go through your friends list A to Z. Pick a letter a day. Go and get rid of people that are not engaging with you. What are they here for? We're building businesses, right? So I hope this was helpful and you got some value from this. Cannot wait to see all of you creating some massive engagement on social media. And hey, I have a few boards that I've thrown together that I have worked all this together with message examples and scripts and all the things. So if you want that,